Hey, welcome back to Reading the Bible Together. Pastor Matt and Autumn here. We're opening up chapter 18 of the Gospel of Matthew today. And then we're asking those questions. What's going on in the text? What does it mean? And what are you going to do? We'd love to hear from you down below. Or if you can't comment on YouTube, send us an email. I know we've answered some of those questions as well. Or catch us in person and ask us in person. We love that we're reading the Bible together. And so looking forward to that. I'll let Autumn start the reading for getting us going in Matthew 18.
At the time, the disciples came to Jesus and asked, "Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?" He called a little child and had him stand among them, and he said, "I tell you the truth, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Therefore, whoever humbles himself like this child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whoever welcomes a little child like this in my name welcomes me. But if anyone causes one of these little ones who believe in me to sin, it would be better for him to have a large millstone hung around his neck and to be drowned in the depths of the sea. Woe to the world because of the things that cause people to sin. Such things must come, but woe to the man through whom they come. If your hand or your foot causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to enter life maimed or crippled than to have 2 hands or 2 feet and be thrown into eternal fire. And if your eye causes you to sin, gouge it out and throw it away. It is better for you to enter life with 1 eye than to have 2 eyes and be thrown into the fire of hell.
And see that you do not despise one of these little ones. For I tell you that in heaven their angels always see the face of my Father who is in heaven. What do you think? If a man has 100 sheep and one of them's gone astray, does he not leave the 99 on the mountain and go and search for the one that went astray? And if he finds it, truly I say to you, he rejoices over it more than the 99 that never went astray. So it is not the will of my Father who is in heaven that one of these little ones should perish. And if your brother sins against you, go and tell him his fault, between you and him alone. If he listens to you, you've gained a brother. But if he does not listen, then take 1 or 2 along with you, that every charge may be established by the evidence of 2 or 3 witnesses. If he refuses to listen to them, tell it to the church. And if he refuses to listen, even to the church, let him be to you as a Gentile and a tax collector. Truly I say to you, whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. And again, I say to you, if 2 of you agree on anything they ask, it will be done for them by my Father in heaven. For where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I am among them.
Then Peter came to Jesus and asked, "Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother when he sins against me? Up to 7 times?" Jesus answered, "I tell you, not 7 times, but 70 times 7. 77 times. Therefore, the kingdom of heaven is like a king who wanted to settle accounts with his servants. As he began the settlement, a man who owed him 10,000 talents was brought to him. Since he was not able to pay, the master ordered that he and his wife and his children and all that he had be sold to repay the debt. The servant fell on his knees before him. "Be patient with me," he begged, "and I will pay back everything." The servant's master took pity on him and canceled the debt and let him go. But when that servant went out, he found one of his fellow servants who owed him 100 denarii. He grabbed him and began to choke him. "Pay back what you owe me," he demanded. His fellow servant fell to his knees and begged him, "Be patient with me, and I will pay you back." But he refused. Instead, he went off and had the man thrown into prison until he could pay the debt. When the other servants saw what had happened, they were greatly distressed and went and told their master everything that had happened. Then the master called the servant in. "You wicked servant," he said, "I canceled all the debt of yours because you begged me to. Shouldn't you have mercy on your fellow servant just as I had on you?" In anger, his master turned him over to the jailers to be tortured until he should pay back all he owed. This is how my heavenly Father will treat each of you unless you forgive your brother from your heart.
Autumn, a lot going on in this chapter today. What's sticking out to you?
What is sticking out to me? I mean, always, right? The story of who's the greatest in the kingdom of heaven and talking about the children and how Jesus feels about the children at a time when children were just considered property.
Right. Yeah.
Women were considered property. So that always, I'm moved by that. I often work with kids who have been abused. And that's a verse I bring them to because they want justice and they need to know that their Heavenly Father wants justice too.
Yeah.
And so that it's not just forgive and forget, that there is a God in heaven that is paying attention to what's happening to his children.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm right there with you because I think so often we tend to rank, right? We tend to judge people by what they can contribute or what they can do. And Jesus is essentially is flipping it on its head, like we've talked about before. This is the upside down kingdom. This is not the way of the world. This is the way of Jesus.
Right.
I think similarly, Jesus' care and attention for relationships and reconciliation is what sticks out to me. Like, we absolutely want to be the type of people who work through reconciliation intentionally focused, right? And I think Peter asking, how many times should I forgive? And it seems outrageous, right? Because maybe 2 or 3 is what I'm being generous here.
Right.
And Jesus ramps it up even higher. But what kind of deep meaning are you finding in Matthew 18 today?
So much. It's hard. It is hard to take one thing.
Yeah.
When you study, it's like, okay, well, the parable of the lost sheep, then I'm the lost sheep is always very encouraging, and that he is a God that comes after me. I'm not going to just stray away without him chasing me down, which is helpful. And I can know that for my friends and family that I pray for, and for that reconciliation that I pray for that sometimes I can't make happen, but God can, either this side of heaven or in heaven. And you do pray for that because we are given the ministry of reconciliation.
Yep.
So how about you, Matt?
I'm holding on to the deep meaning of how much I've been forgiven, right? The aspect that it's 10,000 talents, right? Like more than you could ever hope to repay in a lifetime. Even the richest of the rich wouldn't be able to pay that. And am I as generous with mercy as my Heavenly Father? And I think about that in terms of like my own relationships, the relationships in my family, the relationships I have with coworkers, the people that I meet through the chamber. Like, am I showing this mercy that I've received? Am I doing that on a regular basis? And so that's kind of what's sticking out to me is I've been given much, and how do I share much in that?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what are you going to do today, Autumn?
What am I going to do? I'm going to pray for people because he says when somebody sins against you, right, you should treat them like a tax collector or a sinner. Well, what did Jesus do? What tax? He prayed for them and he
pursued them.
He pursued them. So
I love it.
I'm going to pray for people and like you said, not judge, but be ready to forgive and stand ready. Yeah. All right. Well, we hope you can join us tomorrow for reading the Bible together. Have a great day.
See you guys.